everyone, Arlene here. Continuing on with my decorating frenzy here. I am getting ready to decorate the kitchen windows and a little tray and lamp I have over here in my corner in my kitchen. And I have a couple other arrangements to create for a shelf and one that goes over on my hutch. So let's get started. Let me tell you a little bit about my kitchen windows. First, I have really wide windowsills, which works out really well because they hold a good many things. And I do decorate them for the seasons, but I try not to cover up the windows because I love looking out it looks out the back of our house and we have nothing but windows. So the first thing I do is I put these plates, this one on one corner and this one on the other. And I will show you all the parts and pieces I have to do my windows. And I also use these two snowmen. They are not the same, but they look similar. About the same height and width, or girth, I should say. And I have 3 windows, and so these 2 plates go on the 2 end windows on either side with the snowmen. And then on the 2 corners of those side windows, I have these little tins. One for one window, one for the other, and no, they're not the same color because guess why? They didn't have the same color. So I bought 2 the same, just slightly different colors. So let me start with creating one of these for one side. And this is nothing more than just a bunch of pine garland or scrunched up. Put it in first. And have a little bit sticking out here and there. Maybe down one side. We're going to think about this as this side of the tin will go up against the window. So we don't want to have a whole lot that will deter us from placing this next to the window, kind of in the corner between the one window and the next. I have some big molding between the windows. Yeah. So anyway, we'll just start with this. And look, it falls apart. It's so old, it is falling apart. Obviously, I've had this for a long time, so just stick it back in there. No big deal. Next, it looks like I pulled this whole thing out of here, this whole arrangement out of here last year. Let me stick it, see if I can stick it right back in there. And there we go. And then of course we need to fix the poinsettia. And that will do it. So there's one. And then when we think about doing the other one, which will go on the opposite window, this will go on the left window, this will go on the right window, so we need to do it opposite. So here's my little tuft of pine garland. That is pitiful, but it's just used as a filler mostly. And here's the poinsettia. And they don't look perfectly or exactly the same, but they look similar enough that they can sit kind of like this. Can you see that? Yeah. This will be in the right-hand window. This will be in the left. You'll see what I mean when I get it all in place. These will go kind of sit up in front of these little tins. So there we go. We have the side windows completed. The plates, the snowmen, the little arrangements, and the little plaque, snowman plaque. So now I just need to do the middle window. All I do is make one little arrangement. Got this, it's a glass vase. I don't know whether any of you have ever seen, I think this stuff is called Safari. It's not styrofoam, it's softer than styrofoam. See, I can put my fingerprints in it kind of. And it cuts really easily. And I cut myself a little piece, and I think I'm going to stick it right down in there. And that way, let's see if this works a little better. It should hold this stuff a little better in this base. There we go. I feel it's going to be tighter already. Kind of have to push it in there. There we go. That looks like that's going to work great. And then try to stick in the rest of this stuff. It's not getting there. It's getting there. I'm not happy with it yet, but I have these little icy things. Let's see. There we go. Right? Right. And leave it alone. All right. I'm going to switch over to my iPhone and see if I can get this on the window and situated like I like it. All right. I'll be right back. All right, here I am with my iPhone. And we're going to, here's the windows. And I've cleaned off everything except for the plate holders. Everything else is gone. And that little fairy, she sits there all year. So here I have this arrangement. I think it looks fine sitting up there. Oh, I hope you can see it. It's really bright. I will take a picture at night too. One, of course, on the other side. And then there's that. And that's all I do for that window. And here's one plate. Wooden snowman. It's right beside it, like that. And then this side gets this little arrangement. Anyway, so there's that window. Again, it's really bright, and I'm sorry I'm not able to see this so far. But anyway, now we need to do this window. So let's grab this plate. There we go. And let's, goodness gracious. And here's this little snowman. It goes on this side of the plate, just like that one did over there. And then these two little plates, one on this side. There we go. And then one over on this side. Snowy days. And that does it for the kitchen windows. Alrighty, I'm back. So next I'm going to make a little flower arrangement that will go up on a shelf. And I'm going to make it in this old Longaberger basket. This thing is ancient, 1990. I have had this thing forever, and as you can see, it's well used. But I'm going to leave that in there like that because, as we saw with the kitchen stuff, it helps to hold everything still. This is just one of my tiered bows, and I can give you the link to my tutorial in the description below. Let's tie it on with the pipe cleaner. And those will hang down over the edge of the shelf a little bit. So, of course, I'll fix it and fluff it out and make it look beautiful once I get it put on there. And look what I did last year. I put everything in a Ziploc bag, and I even took a picture of what it looked like last year. I guess I thought I would need my own tutorial this year, huh? So, anyway, what else? I have two pictures here. What's the other one? Oh, there's the whole thing. Look, that's what it looked like last year. So, I have a guide. Yes, I'm anally organized. Just please excuse me. Alrighty. Now, obviously, you saw me just leave the pip berries in there. And I will just leave them alone. And they'll just blend right in. Looks like this poinsettia was right in the front. Here we go. Let's see, put this here, hold him in place. Berries. Pine cone. And I will show it in place later, but for now, here you go. Not hard. None of this, that, and the other thing. Everything but the kitchen sink. And that makes a pretty arrangement. To do, I didn't give myself a picture tutorial of this one. This will be sitting on the bottom shelf of my kitchen hutch over there. So, let's put some of these picks in and around. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Got some more picks over here. This is kind of just, again, a hodgepodge of different things. All right, now let's try to put a couple of these little reindeer in. There, and how about one for here. Now we'll add and I have this poinsettia that I actually think I had clipped onto the front of it last year. I don't really remember. There we go. Working with this stuff, I just work with it until I like what I see. These are just little glass ornaments. Pulling some gold. And you'll pretty much look straight on to this, so I think that'll work. And it'll be surrounded by other decor on the other side of it. Alrighty, here I am in the corner of my kitchen. It's right to the left of my windows. And just like my lantern decorations, I always keep a little something around this lamp. I just can't have a lamp sitting there, can I? I tell ya. So I didn't have much in there for fall, really. I just had that little plate, which I'm going to keep in there now. And I think a sunflower or something very simple. I had something very simple in there. But for Christmas, we need to bling it up a little bit. So let's see. I'm going to use this Christmas tree. Put it in the back left corner. Again, I'm very symmetrical. I always work from the back to the back to the front and diagonally down. I work down. With that in mind, let's put this little snowman in front of the Christmas tree. And then, as we work our way over this way, I'm going to go ahead and put this little plate on the front. That looks right. Then I'm just going to add a couple of these okay, there we go. And little poinsettia, let's put him right up front there. And let's fill in with some of these, excuse me, little pine cones, little blingy pine cones. And how about a couple of, let's bring some this way. And undo it. Looks a little haphazard, but it's just a little something something in that corner. Let me take everything in. Looks good. Just a little shiny something in the corner. Something to catch your eye. All right, well, that about does it for all the arrangements I need to make, except for one or two, but they're not very hard to do. And I'm going to move on in my decorating, but I wanted to do all these centerpieces first, so I thought I would bring you guys along. I'm standing here in my powder room. Odd place for a video, you might think, but I thought I would just show you what I've done in here real quick. And I have one more little arrangement to make very quickly, and I wanted to show you how I did that. So real quick, let me show you. I made this wreath last year, and specifically for this room, because I had a bright idea that I wanted to do silver, khaki, angels, and a touch of red. So there's the wreath I made, and that's a burlap wreath, and I found this burlap at Walmart. It's stamped burlap. It's got pine cones all over it, hence the pine cone accents. And then usually I have decorative plates in there, but I just put little snowflakes in there, and then I did a little something in each shelf. And of course, I always have this picture and these candles, and then I switched out the towels. Then over here on this side, have like a little lantern on a timer with another little angel. You saw an angel over here on this. And then I have an angel back there on that shelf. So, a little lantern, and I just put some red berries, just a touch of red berries inside the lantern. And then I have this white bowl, and I have all these accent pieces here. So I thought I would try to put together a little arrangement. Not anything hard or major, but just something to bring in the silver and the white and the red. So let's see how I do here. Lights in first, because I have another battery operated light set, and I'll come back in here tonight and turn them timer steady on at about 5 o'clock, so it's just in the evening hours. I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn this off for just a second while I wrap these lights around, because I know I need 2 hands. And as you can see, I just wrap the lights in, and back here you can see the little battery pack that I can get to very easily. All right, I'm going to take these red ornaments and just put a couple in, kind of haphazardly. Anything And then I have pine cone ornaments, little ones, to match the big ones on the wreath right there. And I'm going to just very gently set those around here. I have just 3 little balls. There, I've got one over here. And, oh, we have a sprig. He escaped. Come back in here. Where's that other one? Oh, here it is, rolling around. And let's put him back here. We're going to set this whole arrangement back here, right next to that little metal reindeer with the little red hearts on it. So watch this. Look at that. Look how pretty that is.